Okay, grade one. So today we are going to be talking about how people in Canada used to live and what they lived in. So I prepared a little presentation for us that we are going to play. Okay. So how did people used to live in Canada? Today we are going to be learning about the tipi. This is a tipi. This is what they look like. This is what people in Canada lived in for hundreds of years. For a very, very, very long time. What do you notice about it? I want you to pause the video and tell me what you notice about these teepees. So you might have said things like they don't have windows, they are shaped kind of like a cone. You can see sticks. They use a lot of sticks, things like that. You also notice in this picture that there are not a ton of buildings around. It's just flat prairie land, we call it. Who used to live in teepees? So the Indigenous peoples of Canada, who were the first people in Canada, they used to live in these in the Canadian prairies where it's flat and it's quite dry. There's not a lot of water around. Okay, what are the differences between these two homes? This photo on the left is of a teepee, and this photo on the right is of a home that we would probably see around today. I want you to pause the video and tell me what are some of the differences between these two homes. Okay, so what do you think houses in our communities, or why do you think houses in our communities look different over time? I want you to pause the video again, and I want you to brainstorm. I want you to think about why houses in our communities 500 years ago or 200 years ago or 300 years ago look different than our homes today. So pause the video and I want you to think very quickly. So you may have said things like they did not have the same materials we do today. For example, if you look at these pictures, this one has things like windows and lights and stone and things like that, whereas those aren't things that they were able to do back then. They also did not have the same machines that we do today. They couldn't take these heavy, heavy blocks or blocks of cement, things like that, and put them really high up on the houses. They weren't able to do that. They weren't able to do roofs the same way because they weren't able to get up there. They also used to need to move their homes around to hunt for food. Now when we need food, we're able to go to the grocery store and pick up all the food that we need. But back then, people had to hunt their own food or find their own food around them. So when they ran out of food in one area, they'd have to move to a new place. So they didn't want a house that was too secure in one place. They wanted to be able to move it around where they could go get food. What are teepees made of? So this part, all around here, this was made of buffalo hide, which is the skin of a buffalo. And then they were also made with wooden sticks. This is what the inside looked like. This picture at the top, this is the top of the teepee. You can see all the sticks going up inside of it. They had blankets, they had fires and things like that. Sometimes they would paint on the insides of the teepee walls. Do you think that you could build one of these? We are going to be learning about how the Indigenous peoples of Canada used to build teepees, and later this week or next week, we are going to be building our own. So I want you to look at this picture again. Oops. This picture. We are going to be building our own teepees. I want you to think right now about the different types of materials that we could use. What do you think would be good materials to build something like this? And I want you to think about a little bit more about why we could not have the houses that we live in today back then. What were the differences between Canada 500 years ago and Canada today that would allow for us to have different homes?